Hey everyone, I'm recording this video to hopefully get some clarity on how this update works. So my setup is I have a piece of paper with some text on it that is well lit, and I have my Sony a7C Mark II on tripod. Right now I'm in manual mode, as you can see with the focus peaking, and the indicator says manual focus. So if we follow the steps from the video, first it says long press the function button to activate dual focus mode. So let's do that. As you can see, we're in continuous focus. And the next step is rotate the focus ring until the subject is nearly in focus. Okay. So let's say that I want to start shooting from somewhere here. I would say that's pretty close to that starting point. And now if I press the shutter button, what happens is we get a few shots, like 8 shots, and the camera bracketing sequence stops. Then even though we have set it to 299 shots. So after that in the video it says autofocus is available in macro shooting and only within the specified range. After looking at the video a few times, my interpretation of that is that actually you shouldn't rotate the focus ring so that it's fairly close to the point that you want to start shooting. Rather, you should focus manually on the part that is where you want your bracketing sequence to end. For example, if I want to get to the very edge of the paper, I'm going to focus somewhere around here, right? And I'm going to leave my focus point over here. And now when I press the shutter button, it's going to focus over there where the indicator is. And when I press it, as you can see, it's going to continue shooting until it reaches the edge of the paper where I focused initially. Okay, let's see. So this is the first shot, which is focused around the focus point. And this is the last shot, which is focused at the edge of the paper. Well, okay, so this works. Yeah, this definitely works. But there's some hurdles with it. So let's try a bit of a more complex scene. Over here I have a simple motor that I want to shoot. And I'm going to move my light over here. Let's exit the special mode so we can understand what's happening here. So okay, this is the situation that we have. So unlike the paper where the very edge of the paper is the closest point to the camera, and the other edge of the paper is the furthest point from the camera. Here we have something else. So the closest point to the camera is somewhere in the cables here. But the furthest point of the camera is actually not over here. But it's right around somewhere here. Okay. So let's try to get the focus tag for this. Again, I'm going to enter the special focus mode. And supposedly I have to move my focus point around here. And we just failed to focus. So let's try to repeat this. Or maybe that won't exit the mode, but I'm going to try to focus at the same exact point, which is right around over here. Okay. And let's try this again. So again, we want to have a focus tag from the very closest point here to the very furthest point, which is here. And again, we kind of can't focus, but okay, well, I just want to demonstrate that this close focusing point isn't outside the magnification range of the camera. Like if I manually focus over here, I can get this in focus within the frame. And okay, the autofocus managed to pick it up, but only after I focused somewhere around the midpoint of the scene. So now I'm going to get focus tag from somewhere around here where the cables start to somewhere where they connect. But I'm not going to get the entire depth of the scene. Yeah, as you can see, this is the first photo and this is the last photo. But we don't have it on focus over here. Okay. So lastly, I want to give a suggestion. I'm not sure how feasible this is for implementation, but just to give you an idea of how focus stacking end-to-end can be done in general, if you have an autofocus capable lens, or how I would do it with my normal workflow. So I'm going to bring the light over again to the simple scene, and I'm just going to change to a different macro lens which is autofocus compatible. Give me a second. As you can see, the framing looks a bit different because it's not the same focal length, but you get the gist of it. Now, so the point here is that, of course, you can use the autofocus, but that would yield the same issue, which is I can't autofocus right at the edges of the camera. Like, no matter how much I press down, there's still this strip of the sensor that cannot be covered by the autofocus. So the usual way to do this is, instead of bracketing with some of the autofocus modes in your camera, you usually switch to manual mode. And you can start the focus bracketing from the very, very edge of your frame. If I try to use the autofocus, I can't go. This goes to the edge of my sensor. And now if I start the focus bracketing sequence, it's going to continue like that, and obviously we have to stop it manually when it reaches the end of the top edge of the frame. But the point is that I'm able to focus it as close as I want. So I can cover both the bottom and the top edge of the frame. Yeah, and that's basically it. I'm going to stop it now. So let me know if I misunderstood something, or I should be doing something different, or anything else. Thank you.